Hey, this is Chris from FiveDev. We're getting ready to take this bike apart and rebuild it for Leadville. And before we do that, I wanted to take it out for one last ride and then document kind of what we did here and talk about the things that we liked and didn't like and how the build worked out. This bike was purpose built for the Filthy 50. It's our local San Diego 50-mile XC race. Pretty grueling, very fast. The race has some rocky technical sections that are require a mountain bike, but then also has some long, fast sections that are very gravel. Some of the sections are as smooth as sidewalk. And so trying to put together a bike that performs really well in both those scenarios. So I'm going to go over some of the different things that we did on this bike. It's a standard S-Works World Cup, and I'm just going to highlight some of the things that we changed that are kind of unique to this build. To start with, we used our super deep dish. It's a 65mm dish rim along with the Race King tires. Our friend Dylan Johnson has done a bunch of testing in the wind tunnel and shown that this combination of that tire and the deep dish rim is quite aerodynamic. And so at higher speeds, that's going to be really valuable. We used our titanium cranks. It's our road gravel crank, also works great on XC bikes. They're very stiff, light, and minimal material passing into the pedal, so minimizes the chance for rock strikes. Threw one of our titanium jockey wheels on there, enduro bearings, gonna last longer and look really sexy. So the most unique part of the build is obviously the handlebars. We started with an XC handlebar. It's got a lot of back sweep, ended up being more than I care for, but it worked well. Cut them pretty narrow. I expected I would spend a lot of time in the mountain bike position, which I did, and so that was pretty decent. Then we also have the gravel hood position. We set these up super narrow at 22 centimeters, like a track bike almost, much narrower than a standard gravel bike. But with the mountain bike position, we have the safety. If we get into anything squirrely, you can pull one or both hands back. And then the super unique thing is that the brakes function in both positions. So we have dual brakes. So I could use one hand on the front brakes on the hood and then have my other hand on the bar, rear brake, vice versa. The brakes work totally independent of each other, and so have fully functioning dual brakes, which is key to having a position, an aero position up like this. It's one of the reasons that like aero bars and things like that are outlawed for gravel racing in most gravel series, because they don't want you plazaed up here like this without any braking. If something happens, the amount of time it takes to sit back up and grab the brakes, way too long, it's all over. So having a real comfortable, relaxed aero position, super narrow, and then also having the safety of, in case of emergency, being able to hit the brakes. That was the goal here, and that worked extremely well. Then in the mountain bike position, we've got one 2-finger brake, not quite as strong as I'd like, but they function pretty well. And then shifting, standard SRAM shifter pod here. What you can't see is we put SRAM blips up underneath, and so I can reach under with my pinky fingers and I can shift with blips and then squeeze both, get the dropper. So I've got control of dropper post shifting in both positions. So full dual brakes, dual shifting, dropper post actuation, super comfortable. So I've got a few hundred miles on the bike, including racing the Filthy 50. Results were decent, got second place in my class, and had a really good time doing the race. That was cool. Some of the things that I like and don't like about how it works, I guess this XC bar's got too much back sweep, kind of bugs me, pulls my elbows in a bit too much, my wrists. I just don't like the amount of back sweep on this bar. I thought about rebuilding it, but the plumbing for the brakes is an absolute nightmare. That took hours to do. And so I was dreading redoing all the plumbing and just decided to stick with the bar that's on it. You know, that's, to me, one of the bigger downsides is the amount of plumbing work and cable routing in order to get the dual brakes to function. The other thing, this Shimano auxiliary brake is quite weak. And so, and it's, you know, really set up for kind of one finger, and man, they're nothing like XTR. You know, there's definitely, you don't definitely get one finger braking. So a lot of work, you know, on your fingers to use these little aux brake levers. The aero position worked amazing. That was, worked better than I expected almost. Super comfortable and really fast. I was riding past people on the smooth fast sections, comfortably just pedaling right past people, past a lot of people on those smooth fast sections in a super comfortable aero position up on the hoods. And the mountain bike performance worked well. The World Cup worked good. Tires were good. And all in all, it was a pretty decent build for the Filthy 50. My friends make fun of me for the goofy look of the bars, but you know, doing R&D, you got to test different things. And I think, you know, we're developing some new prototypes based on this. They're going to look quite a bit different, but we'll be working on some new stuff kind of based on things we like and don't like about how this worked.